expression in America. When you see the police, say a little prayer to the shepherd who let wolves guard the sheep.
Hi, Cubs Den. We're gonna wait for some people to come in, Cubs Den. Give me a second.
It's been a while since the Ku Klux. Look like the Ku Klux. You ain't gotta glue clues as common as glucose to glimpse them in the blue cloak. Welcome to America, the new coke. Call it, wait a minute, call it, shooting up the corner, get no notice from the club. Club full of killers, killing cops just because. Color is incredible cause to make that bird call. Incredible cause to a mother to get that curse call. That's a curse call to a confidence. That's as common as condiments. That's that kind of incompetence. They don't conjure a confidence. We have more security after we built the company. Ain't wrong. To a criminal, sanctioned by the law, paid by the general. Even worse, who do you call? When you sue for the law, when you're garnering the concrete is intruding your jaw. How you sue for the stars when police officers are shooting at doors? How many more Malcolm X shot behind bars? While the Malcolm in the middle's getting shot at the bar. Part of the reason why we got so many shots at the bar. Part of my reason when you shot me, I was getting my wife. Part of my screaming, but you take too many shots in the dark. Part of my screaming, but talking over your back is impossible. This is how it sounds when your skin starts biting you. This is how it feels when your skin starts eating you. This is a problem, not a black problem. This is a problem, not a black problem. This is a problem, not a black problem.
Hi everyone. I'm not sure how many people are on. I'm going to check. I had an issue with the lighting. Let's see. We have 4. We have 3 people on right now. Hi everyone. If you're on and you can hear me, say something so that I'll know to start. If you're on and you can hear me, why don't you say so? Hi, Cubsden. If you're on and you can hear me, why don't you say so? We're starting in a bit, so I just want to make sure. I know Cubsden can hear me, so that's great. You guys have already seen the topic of conversation for today. Great. All right, so I guess some people are going to be listening from the bushes. But anyways, let's start then. And whoever drops in can drop in. That's okay. So there are two things that I want to talk about today. I originally wanted to do the review on Living in Bondage, which I watched, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I think it was last week I watched it and I really wanted to talk about it. There are 4 people in the building. Please, when you come into the live stream, can you please give it a thumbs up? And you can drop and say hi and we can, you know, converse together. So you couldn't watch it. You couldn't watch what? Living in Bondage, Cubsden? So I did want to talk about that, and then then this happened. And I definitely want to talk about George Floyd because it's in my heart to speak about it. It's in my heart to speak about it. You couldn't watch what? The Floyd video. Oh no, yeah, I'm talking about Living in Bondage. I couldn't watch the Floyd video either because I've just been exposed to too much of this type of violence. And it really weighs heavy on the heart. And of course, it's a privilege for me to have the option to watch or not to watch. There are other people in his family, his friends, and people who have questions, and people who just need answers and who need to know what the hell went on, who have to watch this. Living in Bondage, the remake. Yes, have you watched that? We're going to talk about that later, right after this. So yes, so I definitely wanted to talk about Floyd first. Oh, you haven't seen it? We're going to talk about it, so I don't know how strongly you feel about talking about it. I'll definitely try my best not to leave any spoilers, not to give you too many spoilers, I promise. Yeah, so normally on Sundays, I dedicated my Sundays to like relationship Sundays, and I would talk about, I would just talk about, human relations in the sense of like romantic love and how to go about that, and give advice to younger girls and men who give a damn about what I have to say about it. So I'd usually do that. You guys, can you please share my stream out? I didn't even share it out. I did not give anybody a reminder or notice. It was just getting too late and I just had to get on. Hello host, hi everyone in the chat. Hi Lux Mom, how are you? Welcome to the tribe and welcome to the stream. This might be the first or second time that I'm seeing you on here. I remember that name, so welcome. So please share it out if you have a second. Yeah. So anyways, so let's talk about Floyd, yeah? As like I said, it's a privilege for some of us who cannot watch or who feel so terribly like traumatized by these things, and you sleep at night and then you have dreams about it. Even though I haven't watched it, I definitely did have dreams about it because I've seen pictures and I've read about it, and I have participated in long, productive discussions about it with all sorts of people. So it's very heavy, weighs very heavy on the heart. I saw a YouTube friend of mine just like crying, and I deep that. I really deep that because it's just that real. To be honest, I don't know about you guys, but most of you, I think, watching, I think, live in the West, live in the US. I think Hobson, you live here, you live in the US. If you live in the US as a woman, a black woman, I'm definitely going to be very specific that in this live I will not be referring to people of color. The 5 people on the stream, please, if you like what you see or if you just want to listen in, could you please thumbs up the live stream? Thank you for watching. Someone came in. Chat Learner Life. She Learns Life. Hello, She Learns Life. I hate to take a break from watching cops killing black people. Babe, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. But I had to. I feel you deeply on that. So, if you are a black woman in America, and I love all people, we all love all people, but I will not be talking about people of color. I want to make it clear today. I'm speaking strictly to people who are black presenting, right? So even if you're mixed or whatever, if you're black presenting, your skin is what America determines or have dictated is black politically, then that's who I'm talking to. If you're a black woman and you're dating a black man, if you're a black woman and you have a black brother, if you're a black woman and you have family, that any family member, friend, lover, loved one that is a man, that is of the male gender, you understand the fear, I think, because I've seen it from experience and I have also lived it. But I don't want to, because I did not bring my statistics today, I will not be generalizing. I think numbers are very important. So I will not be generalizing. I will show your comments. Show. I had to take a break from watching cops killing people. What does black presenting mean? That is psychological damaging. It's like when the slave master used to make the slaves watch them torture. Darling, let me tell you, She Learns Life. Thank you for being on, and thank you for really contributing to the conversation. And Kabzen, thank you so much for also asking this pertinent question for people who may not understand. Black presenting, first of all, I will talk about color really briefly. Color is whatever you say, it is, or whatever you see it as, right? If you are, and I get what your question, because you're an African woman as well. If you are born and bred in Africa, you really understand this, because at home, someone my skin color is not referred to as black. So of course you grow up your whole life you've never been called black. Basically, you're called African, you're called brown, you're called caramel. Someone a little bit darker, they're called chocolate. That chocolate girl. And then if they say you're black, then you're literally, dark skin, right? Dark blue, what they call black, blue, or just really dark skin. Then they would call you black. And if you're very light, they'll call you yellow, right? And if you're mixed, they call you métis, or I'm not sure what they call them in Nigeria. But that's what we know back home. But in America, when you have a percentage, right, it happened during slavery, which is really damaging. That's why this color thing, it's really what we are taught, and it's really what we are told. And so in America, they say if you have 1 drop of black blood, you're not métis, you're not mulatto, you're not nothing, you are black. So someone who is literally white presenting is someone with skin that America has determined is white. Someone who is black presenting, like me, is someone with skin and hair and phenotypes and color which America has determined is black. So if you are white, Some people, if you're more white and then you have, African, West African, Bantu, very strong Bantu phenotypes, and your skin is like this, and you're saying you're white because all your parents are white or whatever, you might be white, but you're black presenting because your skin, according to America, is otherwise. And if you are, the reverse is true as well. If you are black, but you say you're black and all your parents are black, but you are, very, not just light skin, but what America says is white, then you're considered, you're not considered black presenting. So black presenting is what America has dictated is black, which is this, right? Which is clearly black skin, black everything, black phenotypes. That's actually black presenting, regardless of the one drop rule or whatever, right? When you see me, you know this is a black girl. That is what black presenting is, right? There's no questions asked. You don't have to think, is she mixed? Is she, nope. So that's what, that's what's black presenting. So let me read the comments. This is hard to understand, being black and never being called black. Where are you from? Angola, South Africa? I am half Cameroonian, half Nigerian. So if you're from South Africa, there is a racial imbalance, but I did not grow up. A lot of black people have not grown up in countries where the majority is white. They grow up in countries where the majority is black. Everybody around them is what America will call black. But in America, it's very different. In the Caribbean also, it's different. But if you grew up in West Africa, all you know is black. And so therefore we don't see ourselves as, we're not walking around and say, oh, you're black. No, if someone calls you black, it's because your skin is the actual color black. Right? Your skin is not brown, your skin is not nothing, it's the actual color black. That's for you, Sheila and Live. Cubs then say, oh, I see. Okay, glad you get it. I thought one drop black was because the black gone in is the dominant gene. No, darling, it's because we were told. So the powers, back in the day, the white people who created this structure did not think about the black gene being strong. They thought of the black gene or the black blood being honestly dirty and soiling anything, right? Because the same is not applied to white. If you have a percentage of a drop of white blood, you're not white, but you are dirtying and you're sullying and you're staining the bloodline, the white bloodline. So if one drop, you're no longer part of us. They're highly protective of their race, right? They were, and right now many still are, hence whatever's happening. Yes, South Africa seems to be the only country where the African people say that they are black. I am black American. I figured, darling, I figured. And then Lux Mom says, still here waiting. What are you waiting for, Lux Mom? Let us know what you're waiting for, but I'm very, very happy to have you here. You can add to the conversation. You can ask any questions you want to ask. We got you. And no question is stupid, I'm sorry, none. We're here to learn and we're here to grow, and we do not shame people. So ask me any question, call me out on something, teach me something. Let's keep talking. All right, so with regards to watching this video, like I said, watching says, okay, babe, all right, okay, Lux Mom, thank you. So with regards to watching this video, it's so hard to watch someone getting killed. I've never understood why people go to public executions. When I was young, I never understood why anybody would do jungle justice on someone. And while a group of people would together go and do jungle justice on someone, I was like, and of course I realized when I got older that's because I'm privileged, right? Because I'm privileged. Because at the end of the day, if I was born poor and destitute, where putting beans in my mouth, having one meal a day is a horrid struggle, and someone stole my thing, it's like threatening their lives. But still, there is absolutely no cause for actually taking a life. I believe, privileged or not, there is no, and I wanted to be an activist because of that. I wanted to do something about jungle justice when I was much younger. But anyways, so that kind of trauma to even hear, because if you grew up back home, sometimes you never know, like you would hear jungle justice happen, or you would drive when you're going to school early in the morning, you'll see a body that's been burned, and you don't know how a group of human beings came together to get, to rid someone of their life in the most horrendous way possible. So it's definitely a privilege to look away from this and not see it. And I understand that it is constant trauma. And to be frank, I am tired. If I'm going to be very honest, I am exhausted. I am beyond exhausted. Dragonfire, have you noticed most of these cops are white? Darling, I have. I live in America, so yes, I absolutely have, which is why it's very important for the community. And the thing is, police officers have a mandate to literally, they have classes and all that to understand how to police a community. Because in Europe, I've heard, while having these conversations, that in a lot of places in Europe, in England, it is not like this. The police are not immediately aggressive, to someone they don't know. It's not like you're a terrorist or something. They just call, somebody gave fake bills, somebody did this. They don't come and just and be aggressive. It's not done. It's not allowed. It's not right. So you literally have to understand how to, you are a servant. And that is the thing where in Nigeria, in Cameroon, in America, people don't understand. I heard in South Africa it's not the same at this point, but in Nigeria, in Cameroon, in America, police they don't know that they're there to serve. They have no clue. They are there to show you who get power pass. It's almost like you start to feel like maybe their whole lives they had no power, they were in abusive homes, they grew up so abused, they couldn't pass an exam in school, but God has blessed them, they've entered the police force, and now they have power, and now they have, they are carrying gun, Odeshi. So now they want to show everybody, I'm the boss, I'm the boss, I'm the boss. Because their whole lives, they've never been truly empowered by their girlfriends, by their wives, by their families, by their fathers, by anyone. They've probably felt like they haven't had that. If not, then you know that you have a mandate to serve. And to serve means you have to study your community. Your job is to better that community, to keep it safe. That is your life's work, and it is such a precious job that when it is well done, people look to the police as God. People look to the police as, wow, these are amazing people protecting us every day. Something happens to them, even emotionally, and they forget to go to a therapist. They want to go to the police because police is always serving, they're always helping us. Look at Officer Norman. If you live in America, you know of Officer Norman. I don't want to use a white man as an example, but that is an example of an ideal police officer who works and serves his community, literally working and serving, from child to this to adult, helping this person carry this, helping this person to do this, helping people out. That is police work, is to serve and protect. Let me read the comments before I come back. That is hard to understand, being black, never being called black. Okay, that I thought, okay, I read that. Yes, that's what I call a hood scarcity mentality. Yeah, ooh, girl, bring that American terminology here, honey. Let's talk about it, Yes, that's what I call, not American terminology, but the American context, the real American context of this conversation. Yes, that's what I call a hood scarcity mentality. People fighting over $20, even killing someone is scary, is crazy. Dragonfire says, have you noticed most of these cops are white? Yeah, Sheila Life says there is South Africans who now living in America, and he says, all the rioting and racism here reminds him of apartheid, girl, period. And, you know, the orange goat in chief inside the orange house. Understand my code. I'm coding this language so that they don't come and catch me in my house. The orange idiot in chief in the orange house. A few days ago, I was thinking, when this happened, he tweeted that, oh, these thugs are doing this and are doing that. Oh, if they don't calm down, then, you know, we are going to shoot. If there's more rioting, they'll be shooting. That is what your president in orange in chief said. Okay? He did not mention the actual protest because people forget and people keep making this stupid, annoying mistake. A rioter, a protester. An anarchist and a protester. Not the same. A looter and a protester. Or they get the same thing. And it's very different. It's a very different. Someone who wakes up in the morning looking for a riot to go and loot is not a protester, because keep it very separate. He will not talk about the matter at hand. He wants to now talk about the manifestation, things that have come out of chaos. Is that a responsible somebody? Is that a responsible goat in chief? Is that in Igbo land, there's a proverb. Ilu Igbo. There's a proverb in Igbo land. Igbo is my tribe, right? My tribe in Nigeria, in southern Nigeria. They say, you cannot be chasing, only a fool will chase a rat, will be chasing a rat in his house when the whole entire house is on fire. Only a fool will be looking for the rat he found running around when his whole house is burning down. Let that sink in so you know what I think about that idiot in chief. But correct, appetite. Appetite is exactly what I thought of. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you saying? What are you inciting by these words? Who are you? Whose side are you on? What are you really saying? What are you really saying when you say, oh, there will be guns, there will be shooting, if they keep rioting? They'll shoot who? Are you the president of all people, or now you are telling us who you're going to shoot? Definitely feels like an appetite. Definitely feels like appetite. Sorry, an appetite. Definitely feels like appetite in South Africa. She learns life. I didn't know many of the cops in the UK weren't even allowed to have guns until recently. Nah, that's what I'm saying. There are some governments that are trying to use their brain to govern the people, because in essence, government and law is to create structure, to govern, to rule people in every way. Sorry. In every way. Mind, body, and soul. Government was created to rule. It's not created for you to respect. It's not created for you to like. It's created to govern. To govern. To rule. To structure. To create structure. If what your government has created is always causing this, killings, deaths, this, of numerous people of a particular shade, they have cried, they have done legislature, they have tried to implement policy. God damn it, we have cameras, so you know we've been crying and we've been pushing, you know, both on the streets, in the courts, lobbying, everything. Everything. And if your government has not yet succeeded after this many years, or has not even made some strides to make sure people are not dying, are you a government? Are you who you govern? Are you governing rats or human beings? So yes, I'm definitely for the fact, these gun laws, I'm anti owning a gun. You can have a taser, there's pepper spray. There are things you can use. Why does a common human being have gun? And then the police who's supposed to serve and protect. Serve and protect. Getting a mail with gun. What are you doing with a bloody gun? On a day-to-day. If a situation is violent, there are people you can call. Police has factions. There are different levels of policing, you know. There's a faction that can come in with gun when the situation is, you know, has already been determined by regular police that it is violent and it is dangerous and there are weapons involved. There's a faction of police that can come in for that. You're not your everyday regular police that's policing. Oh, police, I'm calling you for this. Now you come and carry gun. To why? To who? To how? To do what? What is your aim? But because the gun law allows for the common man to have, now, of course, police must carry. A lot needs to change. And we're going to talk about that because the goal of this is to talk about what we can do. Dragonfire says, they judge us on how we look. It's so not fair. Sheilan's life, yeah, cops become cops so they can act aggressively. I got tattoos on my face and I get pulled over every week. My God, I'm sorry, Dragonfire. Yeah, some cops become cops so they can, okay, I got that, blah, blah, blah. I got that. Sheilan's life says, many of the original police in America were also Ku Klux Klan. It was to serve the whites and not the blacks. The police system was not set up in America. Bring the history. Know thyself. Know thyself. That's why I always say, listen, you think you understand politics of a place? You think you understand religion? You think you understand all these things? Girl, do you understand the history and the culture? That is all you need to know to start breaking things and start deeping what's going on. Do you understand the history and the culture? That's what you need to know. So police hate me for no reason. And then Cool Gent says, good evening, very true. Hi, Cool Gent 87, welcome to the tribe. If you're new, anyone's new, please like the, please thumbs up the live and join the channel. Subscribe, thank you. And please join the conversation too. Béatrice, ça va? Oh mon Dieu, t'es là aujourd'hui? Hey! You guys, if you're a content creator or not, follow Beatrice. She is amazing. I absolutely love her content. I just started following her and I like her content. Sure. Sizzle Zari says hi there. Sis Shirley Ann says hi. Sizzle Zari says welcome everyone. Be kind and help us, Shirley. Thank you. Béatrice says oui, ça va et toi? Ça va bien, mais on a les problèmes. On a les problèmes ici en Amérique, donc I have to talk about it. If I switch languages, guys, don't worry, I will translate. Béatrice says, how are you? And she says she's okay. She says, how are you? And I'm just explaining that, you know, I'm okay, but we have some really important things to talk about. So let's continue. I like exactly what Sheilan's life is spitting here, and she's talking about a lot of these people being part of the Ku Klux Klan. If you learned anything about the man who killed, murdered, butchered, purposefully planned the murder of George Floyd, then you know that he does, and I'm not gonna say alt-right tendencies, I'm gonna say that he definitely has a very strong, stronger than my coconut water, strong racist past. He definitely has a strong racist past. And also, he knew George Floyd. He knew George Floyd. Everything I'm saying is as alleged on the news. Okay? Do you know the Cameroonian on YouTube called African Superstar? No, darling, I don't. If you can tell me their name, I can figure it out. But I don't know their I don't know that handle. Yeah, let me know what about African Superstar. Let me know what about them. But yes, So he has a strong racist past. Racism is taught. Racism is taught. I don't know how he learned it, but he has a strong racist past. But given everything that went down, I don't like when people, of course the police, I'm going to be honest. I think the police is a gang. Most police forces are just a gang. They're a gang. And, in the gang, there are codes. And God forbid, if you don't see me tomorrow, that means they've come for me. Please, everybody say Tufiakwa. Twa. God forbid. Twa. 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 So in Igbo land, when you say Twa, Tufiakwa, it means spit out the words that you have spoken. Let the earth forbid it. Let the gods forbid it. Let it never happen. Let it not happen. So, but that's it. They're a gang. And in a gang, people will stick their necks out for their own. They will protect their own to the very end. And that's on period. They will protect their own to the very end. You want to tell me that somebody is literally screaming, and you guys know that he's not the only person who has screamed those famous words, and it's so sad, so horrendous, so painful that in 2020, are we in 2021 or in 2020? Anyways, it's an abomination that somebody is still screaming, I cannot breathe. Why does it have to happen more than once? In the same exact fashion. By a police officer on a black man. Again. As if it did not happen before. I cannot breathe. I can't breathe. There were many officers just standing there. They were refraining, trying to make sure that people don't see, that people don't interfere with the cold-blooded public execution, predetermined murder of this man. If your knee is on top of somebody's neck and you are relaxed, you're not struggling. He was not doing like this. There are pictures. He wasn't like this. He wasn't, the police officer wasn't like, calm down. No, the man was on the floor flat. This man had his knee, his crusty, psoriasis, scabies, korokoro infected knee on this man's neck. And he was relaxed and looking around. Is that struggle? Was that person on the floor at that moment defying and resisting violently? Who wants to go to jail? It's okay, right? Like somebody, I don't want to go, or they, whatever, they're crying, hysterical, or whatever, that's fine. But you literally are using your knee to sit on someone's neck for minutes on end, and you're relaxed while the person is saying please. And the person is saying to the point where other people can hear it. Not just him, but other people can hear it. God. Recounting this is actually, I don't want to cry on live. Recounting this is actually very, very painful. Very, very painful. Like, I had a dream about this and I have not even watched the video. Just from everything I've read and the pictures I've seen. I literally had a dream about this man last night. And his spirit. May it rest. May his spirit journey well. May it rest and know some peace, finally. Let me read the comments. Um, do you know? Okay. There's a mugshot going around of the thug that murdered him. Girl, say it loud, 'cause he a thug, thug, thug. He a whole thuggy thug. And I really hope that that orange he got in the orange house. I really, really hope that this is the thugs he was talking about, because apparently it doesn't look like that's the thug when he said, oh, if thugs continue, we're gonna, you know, there will be shooting or whatever. It doesn't look like this was the thug he was talking about, but I hope he's talking about this thuggy thug. That's who I hope he's talking about, and not the people who he's saying are rioting, chasing a rat when your entire house is on fire. That's who he is. But I think they used a lookalike. No. They said he's been arrested. No. Béatrice, tu mens. No. Vraiment? Racism has become, Sheila's life says, racism has become a culture after 400 years. That's what this whole entire country was built on. So and then you say, I have a page for black bilingual people. You're spitting out all of these languages. You can drop the page, darling, and I'll look at it later. But yeah, this is really this is really crazy. I really hope Beatrice said she thinks that the person, and if you read this from a reputable magazine or reputable a reputable news source, let us know. Or if you just are seeing a huge difference, yeah, let me know how. Let me know what. If you're gonna do a video about it, I'm gonna be watching out for it, because that would be just wild. But it's the police. They will take care of their own. Zimmerman, who killed Trayvon Martin, Zimmerman is enjoying life. He's living la vida loca, causing trouble everywhere he goes, as if the fact that he's already walking the streets is not enough trauma for people. Trying to sue people. Zimmerman is enjoying life. This man killed Trayvon in cold blood, and he's living life like it's golden. So, okay, thank you, Sheila's life. So he's living life. He's doing his thing right now. Do you know how painful it is for a black person to wake up every day and see that? Every day, looking at that man live his life is a complete reminder. It's almost like an echo that you black girl, you black man, you are nothing. Don't you ever forget it. That is what it's saying. Every day when you see this thug murderer and his gang of accomplices, when you see them walk around free, or when you see them get the minimal penalty, like, oh, they got fired. They got fired, they got this, you know, they got laid off. The minimal slap on the wrist, they got 1 month in jail. When you see that, it's a constant reminder, and you almost feel like, oh, wow. Well, I just better be careful, because, you know, I can be shot tomorrow, and it ain't gonna be nothing. It ain't gonna be nothing. And I want to talk about solutions now. So, I don't like... Sorry, guys. I have to put my lipstick on. My lips are dry. Zimmerman's stepdad was a policeman, I believe. Oh, my darling. You see? You see what I'm saying? I just love how Sheila's Africa is just dropping, you know, adding context, adding to the point. And if you guys have links, you guys have, you know, news sources, you guys have photos and links and stuff you want to send, girl, let me know. And I can make you a wrench and you can drop it, you know. I can give you a wrench and you can drop it on here, because people, I think it's so important for people to see numbers, for people to see statistics, for people to even read these stories and then go back and do their research and really get the context and understand what's going on. So I noticed that a lot of people are saying that, just protesting, rioting, making noise, they're calling you making noise, is not enough. What you gonna do? Black people, all you know how to do is talk, all you know how to do is scream, all you know how to do is press play on a YouTube video, you don't know how to do anything else, that's why nothing will change. Shut up. Your mouth is smelling. Your breath rings. Be quiet. That's what I say to a commentary like that. When you say, all you know how to do is press button, all you know how to do is go outside and protest and start screaming like a wild animal, all you know how to do is scream, you don't know how to do anything else. All you know how to do is tweet. Hashtag. What has hashtag done? Be quiet. Naji. Hold yourself. Chill. Jide, take palm wine, take coconut water, drink. I will tell you why. Let me read the comments. Their mouth is smelling like dead fish, like a fish died inside. Metronobiko, exactly. Let me tell you why your breath stinks when you say things like that. Because it comes from inside. Bad breath sometimes, it's not just, it's not just bad hygiene or a rotten tooth. Sometimes it comes from innate stupidity. Self-induced stupidity. As in, everything is around you to help you, but you have a bitterness in your heart. When your mouth is bitter, your breath starts acting, behaving funny. Then it just goes off and it starts smelling. That is how, when you have bitterness and stupidity, self-induced stupidity in your heart, it will also come out through your mouth. Let me tell you, have you forgotten what happened with the Arab Spring? So do you think the Arab Spring was, successful and, had some impact because, they were strategizing in their house, because they were going out to make laws to suit them? You think that's what happened in North Africa? Do you remember the Arab Spring? So you think that is what made it, successful? That's what made it a whole spring, an Arab Spring. You think that's what they did and that's it? They just went to policy, went to, You got to know the system that you're in. And you got to know what's going to work for your system. It's like a child. There are some children, when you say, don't do this, and they're like, I will stop. There are some children where you tell them, don't do it. Then you scream, don't do it. Then, that's when they stop. But when you tell them, they won't stop. Then there are some children that when you scream, you yell, they don't stop. But when you slap them, boy, they're like, whoa. Their brain, resets. There are some children where you say, don't do it. You slap them, you scream, nothing changes. They don't care. They'll say, I'll do it again. When I come back home, you find that same belt. I know that belt. You beat me and I'll do it again and again and again. They're not afraid. But when you take away their Xbox, they will listen. They will now say, okay, mommy, what did I do? How can I change? How can I be better? You got to know the context. You got to know, the space you're in. You got to know what you need. You need to have context to understand what these people respond to. In the case of the Arab Spring, they did the work behind the scenes. It did not work until they planned a powerful protest that not a soul on earth could ignore, and not a dictator born of a woman could fight. That is the power of actual protest. Screaming, being out there, organized, Newark, my city, yesterday, there was an organized protest. Hello, Esther's Corner. How are you, darling? I'm going to read the comments in a bit. Harlem in New York City, protests. Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, naturally protests. DC, protests. All sides where children of Eve, children of Allah, of Annie, children of Mother Earth, children born of women, everywhere in America came out, organized themselves, and went to protest. And as they were organizing themselves, idiots who had found opportunity to go and steal, they too, they organized themselves. Are they stupid? They organized themselves to go and do their own thing. Now, you people are now forgetting that there are people trying to put out the fire that is on the house. Instead, you are following the rats that are looking for cheese to steal. Are you stupid? Are you? This is exactly what protesting can do. Now, a friend of mine literally was a YouTube colleague of mine. I was watching her video today. Her name is Phil Della Eve, by the way. She's Nigerian, and you know, she's removed from this, completely removed. So I like watching their opinions, because some people, their opinions are really flawed because they have no real context, and other people just, you know, they show the emotion and how it makes them feel and their solidarity, and I like listening to their perspective. Her name is Phil Della Eve. You should follow her. She's great. And she was crying, and she was saying that she was learning about this when a pastor friend of hers in America wrote a status, and his status was, "I can't breathe. Full stop. Period. I can't breathe." And she was like, "Oh my God. My pastor friend cannot breathe?" That is how she investigated and found out, no, he's protesting something. That is what word of mouth can do. And so nobody can ignore. That is why social media is powerful. It is a form of protest. Just the way you can use your finger and go giddy, 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 giddy. You can use your leg and also go outside and your voice and project it. Everybody's gifted in something. Talking about it, tweeting, pushing it out there brings global awareness. And so the government cannot deny or hide. So let me be honest. As much as this orange he-goat wants to play game, wants to play ball, act like Hitler, act like, you know, he's president of apartheid Africa, you know, as much as he wants to, he will never be able to fully ignore this. It's impossible. He will never be able to, he will come out and talk. He cannot, like, the whole world is on his own neck. We are also going to sit proverbially on his own neck. He has to talk. So when you say that protesting is not a form of cause of change, cannot cause or incite or move change, you lie. Let's get that out of the way. Let me go to the comment section, and then we'll talk about other ways of making sure that in our own way that this doesn't happen again. Beatrice said, yeah, you've got to know what you're dealing with. Absolutely. Esther's Corner says, hi Esther, thank you for being on. Beatrice said, no protests in France though. Girl, can we talk about that? Hold on. And Beatrice says, set our influencer gang must use their platform. Nah, talk it. So Beatrice said something interesting. She said she has not seen any protests in France. Please ask me if I'm surprised. Now, I don't know if there's been a protest in France, anywhere in France yet or not. I don't know. And quite honestly, they're not American. If they don't want to, they don't have to. When they're protesting chômage or their own stuff, most of the time we're not protesting it. So to that extent, I guess I get it. But also there's another facet I want to talk about, in the sense that for what I saw during World Cup during the, was it World Cup or African Nation? No, World Cup. From what I saw during the World Cup in France, I understand that their issues are very deep. And French people in general are the kind of people where they have also been socialized to not identify as, to not embrace any form of individuality. They are taught to assimilate and not necessarily associate. That was their colonial style, right, when they came into Africa. And so they treat all their colonies that are now integrated and inside France, all the people from Cameroon, all the African colonies, their Caribbean colonies, all the people of color and different races and whatever that comes in, they encourage them. You're not, you know, Congolese. You're not Nigerian. You're not American. You're not Spanish. You're Français. Tu es Français. You're French. Don't separate yourself and be like, I'm Congolese, French. No. They will fight you and tell you, mais je suis Français. Somebody with their French is not even coming out well. Hey, je suis français, je suis francophone, moi je parle le français. When their French even sounds like their dialects. They'll look at you and say, regarde, moi je suis complètement français. Moi je suis de la France. Moi j'ai les papiers français. To translate, they say, I'm from France. I have French papers. And they are speaking all this French in their strong native language dialects. That is their tonality. But they are lying, talking in your face. So it is okay. Americans embrace the individuality. They believe in a mixed salad, in association, in being different and being with each other so we can learn and grow, but not denying any part of yourself, in theory. In theory. Not when it comes to color, but in theory. So, that's why I'm saying I'm not really surprised, because it's a big conversation for French people to, when they protest like this, then a Frenchman innately has a conflict within themselves, in the sense that, and I'm speaking from what I've observed, you can say I'm wrong, but girl, I seen what I seen, so I said what I said. So the Frenchman will have a conflict within themselves, and they will start asking themselves, should I really say, should I really fight like this? I should be screaming, French lives matter. We're all French. I'm French too. I'm French too. That's kind of what they'll be saying in their head. And then they'll be like, but I really am French though. So why do I have to go? Like, they're not thinking, je suis noir, black lives matter, blah, blah, blah. It's not really, it's always a conflict, right? Not that they cannot do it, they can. And I'm sure they have in the past. But there's a conflict within, because they really are very strong at presenting themselves as one, undivided. They are in the, I don't see color. I don't see race. I don't see, just everybody's one. Pa! Shingafo. But to each his own. So, j'aime la France. I love French people, whatever, but I'm just being, this is what I see. Okay, Beatrice says, I'm just going to read the comments. It's not surprising. And I guess you understand where I'm coming from then, Beatrice. I'm sure you have your own opinion, but yeah, it's not surprising. In the UK, they're protesting. Nah, talk it again. So you get it. It stems all, that's why history is so important. It stems all the way from their racist colonial past. That's why a doctor in France can come online. 2 doctors, not just one. No. Let's say one person doesn't have a brain, or the brain starts doing K-leg, just misfiring. You would think another highly educated person from a high institution, a whole doctor, somebody who's answering Dr. This, would not correct his foolish partner, or his partner whose brain started doing skelewa. He will not correct him and say, my colleague, sorry, I don't think, or start, he will not even do signal, like, mais peut-être pas, peut-être on peut parler après. He's not even saying maybe let's talk after. He's not giving signal. It's like yes, let us do the testing of corona vaccines. Let us test it in Africa. The way we used to test prostitutes, comparing us to prostitutes. Hell, is black people. We have suffered. We have suffered. So this is why I keep telling people that intelligence is not inside book. That's just one kind of intelligence. There are people who are homeless who are far more intelligent in certain ways than people in, than your fellow doctor, than that doctor. That's just facts, So intelligence is an interesting thing. Somebody can be so smart in one thing and just be so devoid of any, let me be nice. You know what I mean. I don't want to say dull, dumb, but you know what I mean. So it's just, I guess the universe is very balanced that way. That's why the universe is wonderful, right? It's balanced. You can't really necessarily have it all. You can have a lot, you can have whatever, but you can't really have it all. Beatrice says, and they're not American, but they're protesting in UK. Exactly. The accent be thick as fuck, girl. Academical intelligence isn't everything. It is not, because there are some people who are highly emotionally intelligent, brilliant, but they suck academically. There are people who are scientifically out of the roof, out of this world, artistically trash. So in 2005, an act was passed by National Assembly in France that required teachers to teach the positive values of French colonialism to their students. Sheila's life, I am going to look into that. Thank you for dropping some numbers, some dates, some history, some policy here. Interesting, innit? Interesting. People are always trying to rewrite history. Now, I don't think we have that kind of law in America, but we probably do. I don't know, but I know down south, in the dirty south, and in the Midwest, honey, I know they're revising history. We have seen this so many times in the news. A child will come back with a paper on slavery that don't make no damn sense. Bring it to their black mama, and the mama is saying, darling, we're going to school tomorrow because we got a problem. In the Midwest and in the dirty, dirty South, honey. I have seen a lot of that. Now, I don't know if up north you would see that. I've never really heard of that happening up north or in Virginia or wherever. I've never heard of that happening, but I see a lot of this revisionist history, a lot of these stories coming especially from the South. Now go figure. Go figure why, So thank you so much for that, Sheila's Africa. Beatrice, I don't know if you know about this. Thanks for dropping that gem. I know, Sheila's Africa, honestly, you're such a gift to the life. Everybody in this life is such a gift and such a gem and has brought in so much perspective. I am too grateful. I am so grateful for all of you on the live. Thank you so much. So yeah, now I really just want to go into a few things. I'm just going to list a few things, but I want you guys to also think and let me know what you think people can do at this point to, hold on. Let me know what you think people can do at this point to like basic stuff, or even, policy-wise, what people can do to make sure this doesn't happen again. So everyone thought that when the first time that we protested and we worked so hard to make sure that this doesn't happen again, what resulted were cameras, right? Police officers in America started wearing cameras now, and people could record them. People could record police officers. They were wearing cameras, so that's why people could record the police, and they have cameras. And in this situation, we clearly know that it's not always going to stop everyone. Everything you do is not always necessarily going to stop people. If you take away guns, I don't even think that is going to stop, because the core is the racism. That's the core of it. The core of it, the fundamental part of it is the racism. That is the fundamental part. And how do you battle the basis and the fundamentals? Education. I don't care what anybody tells you. Ashi. Lies, they will tell you. Nzere. Lies that they will tell you. Don't listen. The fundamental, most important way to battle it, education. So you see this conversation we're having right now. Somebody's going to come on this live. Somebody's going to type in George Floyd, blah, blah, blah. This is going to come up. They're going to learn from Beatrice. They're going to learn from She Learns Live. They're going to learn from Cubs Den. They're going to learn from Esther's Corner. They're going to learn from everyone who came into this live and contributed. They're going to learn to that beautiful brother who came in saying, I have a tattoo on my face and cops hate me. Somebody who doesn't have a brain or whose brain is doing skelewa will say, why you got a tattoo on your face? If you didn't have a tattoo and you didn't look like a thug, then this wouldn't have happened. If you weren't sagging your pants, then this wouldn't have happened. When Sandra Bland was killed, was she sagging? Did she have a fat tattoo on her face? Was she a black man? Big black man? No. Was she murdered? Oh, you better believe it. Horridly. That thing still gives me nightmares. So, all that rhetoric, but you should have done this, you should have done that. No doubt. That is called, you're talking about survival. But please, do not use survival necessarily as a tactic for the morality part, to do right or wrong, for what is right or what is wrong or what not. You're talking survival. Survival is separate. What people do to exist is different from what they ought to do to live dignified, to live a dignified life. You cannot rob someone of their dignity just for them to suit your, what you want them to do because it's under the law, right? Yeah, we're supposed to fear the law and just go by it, but we also make the law. All I mean, we make the law. And we should never forget that. So, I would say education is number one. Talk about it, tweet about it, loud it, talk about it. Number two, read about it, write about it, put something constructive down on paper. Join organizations if you can. Go and protest if you can. You know what I mean? Join these organizations that actually put in work to get money in to enforce this education, on an independent level. Not always relying on the government. Join these organizations who are helping to create, factions that can help, police the police, so to speak, and protect their own people. Join these organizations. Get into politics, get into law. There are a lot of people who are doing law right now because of the terrible Minnesota, Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota, honey. Man, it comes as no surprise if you live in Minnesota. It's incredibly racist. Incredibly racist over there. So it comes as no surprise to people who live there that this type of thing is happening. It was only a matter of time for that city to be brought to the spotlight again about it. So it's definitely important to do those things. I also think it's very important to vote. If you're American, vote. If you're not American, you have a green card or you're a student or whatnot, and yes, you're afraid, you're worried, you might be sent back, things could happen, you're risking everything. You're risking everything. The real problem is not saying anything. Yes, an abomination, but yeah, you are risking your life, you're risking your papers, you're risking your whole life when you talk. So if you can join an organization, if you can tweet about it, if you can do whatever you can about it, but you're doing something about it, I respect that. I respect that. Join these organizations, do the volunteer work if you have to do, you can do that hands-on. But if you're fully American, the most powerful thing you can do is to vote. Because everybody, I'm not political, me, I don't do politics. Shinga fuota. No, come. Because we're here to learn, right? And we're here to teach each other. So come. I'm very passionate, and I have a lot of history on Nicks in my blood. I need to express myself outwardly like this. But I'm definitely, if you have a different opinion, you're allowed to comment in the comment section. You're allowed to have a different opinion, and I could learn from it, and we could have a conversation about it. So definitely, you should be voting. You should be voting. You should be voting because you are political. Your existence is political. The fact that you are alive is political. You can't escape it. You, Ginwa, you are political. So you cannot say, I'm not into politics. But when the police officer slaps you, remember, oh, woo, we gotta do something about it. That police officer just slapped me. Woo. I mean, I can't get into this school because it's not in my district. No, we gotta do something about it. Those are reminders that you are political. Whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. So I'm gonna read the comments and then I'm gonna look for other things that we can do. Let me see if you guys dropped anything that we can do on a small scale or on a large scale. Let's see. Okay. Beatrice says, it is going to happen again, unfortunately. If they don't do something about it, you goddamn right. If they don't do something about it, but God forbid. Heavens forbid it. I really promote us going back to our continent. I hear what you're saying about that. And I think that the only reason most people are here, honestly, is because of lack of infrastructure and lack of the ability to pull themselves up by themselves. Lack of the courage to do that, and lack of the ability and the fear, a strong fear, a real fear of destitution for some people, right? So this is a means for them to elevate themselves. And, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be like considered, foreign and just a beggar or something like that, treated in an undignified manner in a foreign land. I mean, nobody. That's just the honest truth. We all like to travel. Let's travel experience, but can we go back home when we're done? If we want to and live well, we got to put in the work. And I think that a lot of people, even people of privilege, who could have decided not to do anything, are literally taking it seriously, going back home and opening businesses that are providing jobs and that is creating infrastructure and helping grow the continent. Might be not on a higher scale as we want to, but they're trying. I mean, my example is Rwanda. I know y'all, a lot of people think Paul Kagame is a thuggy thug, but he a thuggy thug that is really doing amazing things for Rwanda. So, to be honest, I'd rather a dictator thuggy thug who pushes and innovates his country. And his country has really come a long way. That someone like goddamn President of Cameroon, who literally just sits, gets fat and gets rotten and doesn't do nothing else. Doesn't do anything for his people. Isn't doing much, right? And I should be doing something. I'm looking at myself too, that what are you doing, Chichi? What are you, me, that I'm talking, what am I doing? That is a real question to also be asking ourselves. But yeah, I definitely think that, I don't oppose going back. But I don't think people should have to go back. It should be a choice. People should do whatever they want. They should be able to live in dignity as human beings and as part of a human race wherever they are, right? Wherever they are. But that was a good one, Beatrice. I really promote us going back. And the She Learns Life say, I rack my brain trying to think of solutions to racism and, to think about solutions to racism and police brutality, but what can we do? We can boycott certain establishments. Girl, the power of the dollar. July 7th, I think, in America, I ain't spending a dime. And we're basically holding the black dollar. So all black people, for one, and our allies, which include people of color who care to be allies, are not going to spend a dime on July 7th. We can boycott certain establishments. We can vote more. We can join the police. Ain't nobody talking about that. I ain't talking about that, but girl, I agree. So that's all from Sheila's life. That's really good. Beatrice says, but know that if every black person of the diaspora decided to make that big decision, they'll stop us. Girl, tu as bien parlé là. Parce qu'enfin, they all say go home, but who's going to do the jobs that you think are so undignified? Who is going to be, girl? If you know how many Nigerian doctors are in America, if we all carry back go, now who go be surgeon? My uncle is a brilliant neurosurgeon. Like, who he is always on call. If we all pack, carry go, take our back, carry all our knowledge, put in the backpack and say peace out. You damn right. I doubt they're gonna let us like that, girl. You saw what happened when COVID came, right? You saw what happened in the UK, right? How all those Jamaican people and Caribbean people, I've forgotten what act it was under, that they tried to kick out after how many years of them being, legal in London, in UK, that they tried to kick out. As soon as COVID came again, they're like, oh, you guys, please come back. They do not care about Black lives. If you wanted a green card, now, at this COVID time where everybody's dying in the hospital, you are invited to come and die as a person who works in the health field. You are invited. Come and die. Sacrifice your life for us. They will give you whatever you want. But you think that, anyway, watch their policy. But yes, follow the cash where the money is. If you remove your dollar, as Sheila's life says, they go yeram. That's you gotta look at what really matters. You gotta look at where it really, really hurts. And where it really, really hurts is that money, that dollar. You can't, that's where it really pinches. That's where it really pinches, and that's why I get where Beatrice is coming from, that I doubt they're gonna let us. I doubt they're gonna let you if you decide in mass to just be like, en masse, on y va, we're no longer gonna be here. We connect more with Black people from other countries. I understand you. Dragonfire says, I'm very happy you're on here and you're contributing, and I liked what you said about the tattoo, Dragonfire. I deep that. Dragonfire says Donald Trump really isn't helping, girl. Boy. No, he not. Not at all. He's actually in fact, he's the kerosene. So he has seen fire, so he's like, hey, let me just drop a little bit of of oil on that. Let me add more gas. Let me add more petrol on that fire. That instigator. We cannot with more Black people from other countries. Oh, I see. You've watched Living in Bondage. Girl, we're going to talk about it right now because I'm about to go off soon. I've gone way over 1 hour. Kate says, hello, host. Sally, Kate. Hi, Kate. Everybody, Kate's birthday was last week. You can wish her happy belated birthday. Beatrice says, Akon brought light to Senegal. He did his bid. So, people are doing their bid, girl. Yeah, I heard Kigali looks great. Girl, Rwanda is a beauty. I really want to go. And I know a lot of Rwandan people who I went to school with. Most of them, probably only 2 of them I know who stayed back. They all ran back. They don't, why? Because when your country is doing good, when your leader is providing, when your people are united and the government makes sense, girl, what you gonna be doing getting called the N-word, getting treated in an undignified manner, having knees put on your neck just because they feeling funky? Oh, hell no. You go back. She Learns Life says, I saw a video and the streets were so clean. Didn't they ban plastic bags? Beatrice says, our Niger celebs, on the other hand, I don't know what they're doing. Some of them, I think some of them have been posting, but some other Ghanaian celebrities, I have seen a lot of Ghanaian celebrities that I follow, Lydia Forson, She's doing an amazing job on her Instagram. But some of them are still bouncing booty, which, you know, is their right. You want to bounce booty all day, you're removed. And they might have the argument that, listen, when we cannot eat in Nigeria, people protesting. When we could not find money during COVID, our government could not credit our account. Did you protest? So stay there and do what you're doing. All man for himself, God for all. I don't know what they're thinking, but, you know. Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of them, you know, speak on it the way I'm seeing Ghanaian actors speak on it. I hear you in that, Beatrice. If we do go home, our unity will be stronger than ever, and that's very threatening because we might just create a Wakanda forever. That is so utopian. That is such a almost as utopian as communism. That is amazing. The world equals physical appearance and can be divided based on the superiority of one race over another. I hear you. And if it's not racist, it's going to be something. It's not even about, you know, just color. If we were all blind, we'll go by tone of voice. That person sounds like this, so they are not like us who sound like this. People with this vocal cord are better than people with that vocal cord. If we were all blind, we'll find a way to differentiate ourselves. Because ego. The ego, the human ego, is a bastard. The human ego is a bastard. Jackie Serrano. Hi, Jackie. I've never seen you on. Welcome to Pop, Salt, and Culture. Welcome to the tribe. Please join the stream if you haven't. I'm so happy to have you here. I work for the sheriff department of 800 people. Only 95 are black, and 50 of those are jail deputy. 30 are civilians. That means only 15 are road deputies. Chineke! Yeah. Okuna anuna. Are you people listening? Are you people hearing? Are you people seeing? Look at what Jackie Serrano has written, and we can do our research on this right after the stream. Please read what Jackie has written here. They don't hire black deputies. Chineke! Are you surprised? You people, all 14 people watching, are you surprised? Any of you in America, are you surprised? Ignore all my histrionics. Are you really surprised though? Travesty. So this Jackie adds to what we can do, and this is what also She Learns Live said, going with what Jackie's saying. We need to be part of these policymakers. We need to be part of these law enforcement officers. Period. We need to be in it, in the thick of it. All kinfolk, all skin folk, and kinfolk, which means not all black people are pro-black and, you know, are thinking about us. But however, the majority of us, of course, are gonna think about us, understand how we think, are not afraid by someone who is our color. So even on a very basic level, we definitely need to be represented in there. So thank you for that, Jackie Serrano. We'll do our research after that and look into it. But girl, thank you. Tammy says, hey Pop, I'm here watching, enjoying this. Hi Tammy, thank you so much for coming by. Glory family love, hey babe. Glory says, greetings host. Hi Glory. And Glory says, how is the Salt Nation? We are here and we are thriving and we are talking about the things that matter today. We're not doing relationship Sundays. We have to talk about something else. We definitely do. We have to switch up on y'all today. And Kate says, all man for himself, God for all. That's how some people think. Some people are not in solidarity because they don't care to be in solidarity because they're on a selfish tip, which I can't say I don't understand. I get it to some extent. They're like, when we're suffering in Nigeria, where are the Americans screaming for us and for our rights? When we are this, I mean, some people would think that way. What do you know? All right, so I'm going to read some things that I researched here of what we can do, and then we're going to get into living in bondage really quickly. I know Beatrice, please Beatrice, don't go anywhere. I really want to see your opinion on this. So, according to an article, here are some things we can do. Stop criminalizing everything, but I can't go deep into that because this is all policy related. Stop using poor people to fatten city budgets. This is also very policy related. Kick the immigration ICE out of your city. Very, very policy related. I'm looking for things that are not too policy heavy, and you can read about the policy stuff. Treat addicts and mentally ill people like they need help and not jail. Basically, this is just racism in general, right? How systematically, how you can disintegrate that, how you can break that down, right? So that the system, system of racism, the institution itself is weakened. Make policymakers face their own racism. So I'm gonna share the link to this because I really want you guys to really read the breakdown of this. Obey the Fourth Amendment. Unreasonable searches and seizures, which often lead to unnecessary arrests. Still targeting the institution. Involve the community in big decisions. Absolutely, I 100% agree. Collect data obsessively. That's interesting because we spoke a lot about it today. About the importance of data. Very important. Because the numbers matter. Because they collected data on this corrupt thug murderer of our brother George Floyd. That's how we know that this is not a one-off thing. This man has been accused severally of racism and aggression towards black people. Severally. It's not the first time, girl. So they should have paid attention to that from the jump, but they didn't. Because we know, like I said, the police force is a gang. Why are they protecting him? There must be a reason. What is he doing for them? Why did this man not flinch with his leg on somebody's neck, with his knee on someone's neck, and he stood like he was not afraid? Say, I'm not breathing. Say, and he did not care. He put his knee on the man's neck like, what you gonna do? Broad daylight, everybody screaming hysterically. He's gonna die. Didn't care. The man is begging, I'm going to die, cannot breathe. His friends standing there looking at him, don't come close. Do you think somebody who is not protected would act like that? Do you think somebody who doesn't know what is waiting for him, you think they will act like that? Broad daylight on a what you gonna do tip? Please. Please. They know what they're doing. Body cameras already implemented. Don't let friends of the police prosecute the police. Absolutely. You're not going to go into trial and have somebody who is very friendly to the police, collected bribes, has protected them. Look at the statistics. Look at the judge's history. Look at the people who they're bringing in place, and the way they judge the military people, the way they judge police officers, they're under like a slightly different mandate. But that's why you have to be careful that who is the judge? Who are the people who are making decisions about this man's actions? What are the laws to persecute this person to the full extent of the law? If you kill person, waiting them go do you. Sure, you have to rot. Murder in broad daylight, and to that type of man, my heart. No more military equipment. Are we supposed to be carrying guns on the street? We spoke about guns already. But in England, police officers who are there to serve and protect are not carrying gun. But here, because they have allowed civilians to carry gun, them too, they carry gun, shoot anybody anyhow. What you gonna do? What are we gonna do? That's basically what they're saying. Establish a use of force standard. That is true. Train the police to be members of the community and not just armed patrol men. We spoke about that. The importance of community. We definitely spoke about that. So I'm going to look at your comments again. And then we're going to switch it off. We're going to go to, switch the conversation to the movie. All right. She learns life, so you should do a Igbo video. No, my Igbo is horrendous, but if you promise to do it with me, I will definitely do an Igbo tag video. If you promise to go along with me and we can make it a challenge, I'll definitely put in the work. Paolindo, my sweetheart, I'm so happy to have you on here. Hey, hi Paolindo, welcome. Why do you call it salt? Does it have to do with the common trade of salt during the ancient Mali Empire? So the name of my channel is Pop, Salt, and Culture. And the salt is basically to say that we are the salt of the earth, like a precious ingredient, a precious mineral, right? So that's where the salt comes in, right? We can't live without salt. Salt is everything. The most important ingredient, the most important spice you have to put in anything. If you don't have any ingredients in this world, you have salt, you're good. Salt literally heals. It is a very powerful healing agent, right? Both for the body, for the soul, everything. Back in the day, you'd have to go into salt water if you have certain diseases. The doctor would prescribe, go and bathe in the sea. Right? Salt is very precious. It's a precious commodity, and we are the salt of the earth. And so that's why I called my channel Pop, Salt, and Culture, which originally was going to be a pop of salt and culture, because I do a lot of cultural commentary. But yeah, that's where the salt's from. So we call ourselves here the tribe, the Salt Tribe. Thank you so much for asking that question, She Learns Live. Thank you. And then Dragonfire says, the longer the sentence, the more likely it is that non-white people will be the ones getting it. Whew. Dragonfire, I don't know if you're drinking anything, but cheers. Clink. Thank you for that. Thank you for that perspective. Because I've heard of a case where a black cop mistakenly was stated clearly, he mistakenly killed, I think it was a white woman, and he was sentenced to, I don't know how many years he had to spend in jail. I don't know how many years. But yeah, he got a very, very harsh sentence. It did not even look like it was a mistake. He was prosecuted and he was tried like he was a normal person who just literally came up and shot someone. So I 2000% agree with you. I don't have the name, so I have to look into that, and I can post that in the comment section after this, after the live. Beatrice says Paolindo. Hey, everyone loves Paolindo, right? It's amazing. Temi said, "It pay me gang gang." Nah, I hear you. I hear you, Temi. I hear you. I hear you. Sheila's Life says, okay. Paolindo says, thank you so much, so much. Beatrice says, I'm great with you, Paolindo. Paolindo, I usually see you on Ibironke's live. Okay, awesome. All right, so thank you so much for being with me. All 14 of you, please like the stream. Please leave a comment if you want to. Share this with your people. Join the Salt Tribe. Join this channel. I do a lot of wellness, social commentary, content on here, some spirituality, all that mix, right? Some lifestyle, I do all that. But the core of my content is wellness. So you can definitely see fitness videos, dance videos, feel-good videos, stuff for your body, your mind, and your soul. This is for all the people who are new, and I'm already legit in love with Sheila's life and Dragonfire. What you've contributed to this, it touches my heart, and I know you have blessed everyone else and given everyone his perspective on the subject. Beatrice say, yeah, outside okay, wait, I'm living in bondage. All right, so now we have switched course and we have changed lanes to living in bondage. Gung, gung. So give me a second, because hold on. Who has watched Living in Bondage, the remake and the original? If you've watched both the original Living in Bondage and the remake on Netflix, please say something. Let me know. Living in Bondage is a Nollywood movie. For those who don't know, it is a Nollywood, a Nigerian movie, and it's on Netflix. It's under the African movie category. Let me know if you've watched that. If you watched both, let me know, please. I don't review the movie, by the way. Okay. I think I saw that too. I think I saw that. I plan on watching Living in Bondage. All right. Who else has watched it? Tell me, did you watch the original? Tell me, did you watch the original?
And together with Stop and Shop.
Give me 1 second, guys.
The pain in my heart.
Give me 1 second. I'm hitting you with some Nollywood stuff. Hold on. I'm hitting you with some Nollywood stuff, you guys. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm giving you the soundtracks. I'm giving you these soundtracks for a reason, you guys. Hold on. Oh my god, they were so skinny. Hold on, you guys. Alright. Look at this. Look at that. Now let's talk. Now let's talk. And I had to do that for context, you guys. Hold on. Because you know, context is key, right? Let me read the comments and then we'll get inside. We'll get into the thick of it. All right. So it's a pleasure, Pop Song Culture. I don't review movie, by the way. I hear you, Beatrice. Everyone, Beatrice actually reviewed the movie. So after this, go watch her review on the movie. I'm sure it's hot. I absolutely love Beatrice's commentary. I plan on watching Living in Bondage. I'll go see your review of it. She's great. I watched both. Good. Tammy says I haven't seen both. You haven't seen? You have to. You have to. See the old one first, please, before you see the new one. It's on YouTube and it's free, and I just showed you. Sheila stuff. I haven't seen it, but I have seen Blood and Water. Okay, good. And why marry with Majid? Michael, you know Majid Michelle? Majid is a pastor now. He has rejected movies now. He has rejected Nollywood. I don't know why. But yeah, Majid, nostalgia. Bondage, yes, Paulindo. Living in Bondage. I haven't watched the original. You have to. let me know, say you watch my review now. I absolutely freaking love your stuff. I love your content, Beatrice. Temi is laughing, and Beatrice says, I like the soundtrack. Where you did play? Yeah, I was playing the actual movie itself, and you're playing the 90s version. Yeah. And Paulinda said, what is that? Beatrice said, they were so young. Oh, and so skinny. So skinny. John Shaft in Africa? No. Beatrice says, I talked about the ritual scene for sure. And She Learns Life says he lost his voice and felt like God took his voice for playing in those crazy movies. Really? But his voice has always been terrible. He's always had an issue with his voice. I'm going to find out why. Damn, he really did? Oh my God. I don't want people to feel that way. But he probably knows what's going on with himself. Alright, let's talk living in bondage. Now, my first impressions. First of all, I was so giddy and happy to watch it. Like, I had goosebumps. And I was talking to my friend, and I was telling her, I don't know why all of Africa, all of Nigeria, every Nigerian human being is not, Nigerian millennial is not going mad about it. I need to see it on everything. I want to see it on my feed. I want to see it everywhere. I want people to scream about it, talk about it, push it. I want it everywhere. Everywhere. I was disappointed by the reaction. I thought we would have a much bigger reaction, much bigger cultural explosion, because Living in Bondage is one of those all-time Nollywood Nigerian classics. Just like Neka the Pretty Serpent, just like all those, movies that we grew Anybody here remember OJ production? If you're a millennial, you're an 80s baby who grew up in the 90s watching this stuff, anybody remember OJ production? The hype is not enough. The hype is not, yo. Charlie, that thing disappoints me. So, I was disappointed by the lack of, actual, cultural, huge cultural reaction. That was what I was expecting. Like, oh my God, they're right from the moment they said they were gonna do the making of. I wanted an explosion. I wanted people to talk about who's gonna write the script, who's gonna star in it. What are they like? I wanted that. I was so mad, so mad when I heard it was already made, and not much talk. That really hurt me. But so then I watched the damn movie, right? So then I watched the movie, and let me see what you're saying. Sorry. Beatrice said, it will be interesting if you dissect my review. The hype is not enough. So the first thing I said to myself when I started is, when I saw the beginning, gang gang, gang gang, dun dun dun, dun dun. How? Chineke na. I was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is it. This is it. The beginning gripped my soul. I was just like, okay, if you have not watched the movie for 5 seconds, do your ear like this. Do like this. Close the ear like this. 5 seconds. When I do this, remove your hand from your ear. The beginning of the movie, spoiler alert, right? When the girl was singing, right? In my household growing up, it was different. It's the same song. Oh, nene me wam nebe. Oh, nene me wan. Hey, Chineke God. I said no. Like, I already started saying, if you've watched Living in Bondage, I already said, oh, no. Have you watched Get Out? Sorry, remove your hand from your ear. Spoiler alert, done. If you watch Get Out, Remember the scene where the housemaid was trapped in the sunken place, and every time she wants to say something, she just goes, no, 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 no. That was my reaction. I was like, oh no. Oh, I already know. When he paused and he looked at his child, and the fact that they were speaking in Igbo, so damn important. I want to talk about the things they nailed first. The fact that they were speaking in Igbo, there was a lot of Igbo, incredibly important. Incredibly important. Ramzinwa was struggling a little bit. To the untrained ear, he did a stellar job with his Igbo. But if you're an Igbo person, you know that Ramzinwa was, his Igbo was doing skelewa, you know, his Igbo had a little bit of a kele, but he tried. But it was so incredibly important for them to speak Igbo, because the core of this movie had a lot to do with Igbo stereotypes, you know, about, you know, saying that Igbo people love money so much. Has always been the stereotypes for my people, right? That we love money so much to the point where we have no problem sacrificing our own our loved ones in a blood ritual to you know, a dark force, a dark entity, you know, so that we can get in return, you know, wealth. So this movie really played on that stereotype, and it would have been a mess if they did the whole living in bondage without a strong Igbo presence, right? Could they have done more Igbo? I think they could have. I definitely think they could have put more Igbo into it, done more translations. Netflix nowadays, we're in a global world. I watch a ton of Italian movies, a ton of Dutch, German movies. I have subtitles and I learned something from it, right? So I was so happy that they incorporated a lot of Igbo culture in there. I was so happy that the beginning was gripping. It is the kind of magical realism, right? And that is something that, I'm sorry, for the sake of nostalgia, I do not care how much the film tricks and how much technology is involved and the camera quality. Nollywood films look like back in the day, look like they were made on phone. They were made on regular VCR, regular video cameras, and we made it work because what? The story was key, and magical realism was our own film trick. If you don't know what magical realism is like the spiritual elements that we put into things, right? Something appears and disappears, and there's a mysticism behind it, right? A mysticism that if you're part of that culture, you understand. It is spiritual. It is that's kind of what it is. I'm trying to explain it to the best of my ability, right? But that's kind of what, sorry, I'm drinking, I'm burping, I'm sorry. But that's kind of what magical realism is. So we don't want to stray from that core element. That core element that was in a classic like Living in Bondage, right? That whole like Nigerian Asaba movies, right? Those old school Nigerian Nollywood movies, right? They really understood the power of magical realism. They did the best horror movies, point blank. I'm gonna spill some tea about myself. Damn it. We're just getting so comfortable. I might as well tell you. When I was a kid, I literally refused to go to the bathroom twice. I peed on my bed because I was petrified. I was too scared to go to the bathroom after I watched another horror movie from the production company OJ Productions. Anybody remember OJ Production? Anyone remember OJ Production and the kind of horror they did? Let me know if you remember OJ Productions. Tammy says, I don't think they gave it a good publicity because I found out about it from such exactly horrible. Exactly, Tammy. Beatrice says, Omo, you fit dissect my review because I think we have similar point of view. Beatrice says, I saw it on Ramsey Noah's page actually. Oh, so that's bad. If you have to see it on an actress page, that's just horrible. Temi's laughing. Temi says, I'm okay with the spoilers. Okay, great. Barry! Oh my god, you guys, my sister is on. Everyone says hi to Barry. My beloved. So my sister is on. Hey Barry. Beatrice says Ramsey Noah is Yoruba. That's why his Igbo get it was literally the handicapped Igbo. I was like, bless your soul, but he tried. And the good thing is also he has the typical Igbo phenotype. So to the untrained eye, they definitely think he's Igbo born and bred. They're like, yeah, you know. And then Beatrice says it was scary. Oh my god, the beginning was, yeah. But if anybody here is a millennial and grew up with OJ Productions, OJ Production House, that company was skilled and masterful at horror storytelling. Trust me, I sometimes think that even at my old age, I'm no longer scared of vampire movies, but if OJ says they want to test me with a horror movie, I'll hide. I will hide. I will even have a piss bowl near my bed. In fact, I'll sleep with the lights on. I just won't sleep. Because I trust that if they decide to do a remake, OJ Production storytellers are the ones to do it. Hold on, you guys. My battery is about to die, so that's my cue. Let me hurry up. I have 50% of battery to get this down. So OJ Production did amazing horror movies. So I don't know who the writers were, but I wanted them involved, right? I wanted the best horror, magical realism writers to come on and do their thing skillfully. Now, that was my biggest thing. After the beginning, I didn't see any more horror. I saw small, stupid witchcraft like you will see in Sabrina the Witch. All these ABC, Lifetime stupid horror movies. Sabrina the Witch. Carry stick, the abracadabra, the spirits of the East End and the witches gather. Like, I was like, huh? When they were putting him into the secret society, you know, yes, the setting was beautiful. I like that they tied the woman, but it was still like, huh? Time for all of them to act like they are possessed. They were doing, I'm like, ah? You know that this is a cultural stamp. Are you joking? You are taking Living in Bondage to play football? You think that this movie is your mate? Ha! That's it. I was shook. I was waiting for horror. Horror was not coming. I said, wow. The story was good. The story was good. The story was real good. But the story was subpar for a remake of goddamn Living in Bondage. You gotta put there. This movie has to have a spirit. You have to breathe life into it. Do you understand? A classic is not a classic for no reason. A classic is a classic because it emotes. It makes you feel. It's like a juju. It's like a dibia, like a shaman, like a witch. What you guys call witch doctor or a native doctor, whatever. He takes this lemon. When he finishes invoking into it, it's no longer a lemon. The lemon has a life. That is what a classic and a good movie is. It becomes an entity. When someone says Living in Bondage, your blood goes gigba. Gigba. You move, you feel. It reminds you of something. This movie is not your mate to be using and play football, anyhow. People need to feel something. And what they need to feel is, one, they need to feel what the horror, the turmoil, they need to feel the turmoil. And the turmoil has to be emotional. You have to see the emotional suffering within Andy. You have to see the emotional suffering within this guy, who is now, his father was in the cult, was the biggest occultist of the time. And now his son. I would even think that, okay, why don't you make it be like the blood of his son, right? Like his son now inherited the blood in his veins and cannot escape it. And let's say, this is me doing the remake of Living in Bondage, how I would have done it. Why don't you let his son have something in his vein that since he was a child, he will have moments where, he will be possessed and come back to himself and have this conflict, this innate blood-drawn conflicts from a young age. There should be something about him, something special, deep-rooted. He was a regular boy. In fact, the whole thing I just saw myself making the movie, me, myself. So somebody give me a budget. I have a story. I'm sure y'all will have a story when you see it as well. So I need that feeling. And another thing, where was the bondage? The bondage was for like, what? 15 minutes of the movie was where we saw the bondage. Where he didn't know who to go and sacrifice. In fact, let me read your comments fast. I'm talking. I know that my battery's about to die. Yeah. So Tammy says, I think a lot of kids were traumatized from old Hollywood movies. You damn right. Same here. I refuse to use the bathrooms in the night. Girl, I straight up peed on the bed. I woke up in the morning. I said, water. It's water. I use OJ Productions. Yeah, OJ Productions. That production house. Girl, when you heard it, you're like, okay, I'm not going to sleep in the house today. I'm going to Auntie Maria's house because everybody, the family comes together. And if you're scared, go to church or go to the neighbor or go to your auntie's house and you're not sleeping in the house at night because they're going to watch OJ Production and only the strong will survive. Only a certain kind of person can literally watch them and not be scared. You have to be so tapped into reality, to a different type of reality, that you are not moved by OJ Production. It was crazy. It was nuts. All that people were, it was nuts. And Beatrice says, my whole life, I thought that Ramsey was Igbo. Me too. Because of his phenotypes. I was scared of running scenes when I was little, actually. It's true. I mean, running mad. Really? That's crazy. Tammy says, me too. Oh, really? Damn, they got you guys worse than they got me. I just thought they would catch me in a dark space. So I didn't like any dark space. I was petrified in any dark spot. I thought the spirit would just catch me. Oma, you should have been the culprit. Oma, I should have been. Am I lying, Beatrice? It should have been in his blood. He needs to have flashbacks. He needs to have physical manifestations, even as a child. It should be something that he shouldn't even know that he was adopted. He shouldn't have known that he was adopted. He should have been adopted and only found out later in life because his manifestations and the spirit actually maybe came out and he had to seek answers and things came around him and told him the truth. And now he goes to confront his adopted parents. And then that whole thing comes out. And now he starts, realizing, oh, maybe this is what's wrong with me. Then maybe he decides that I just have to stop fighting it and follow my true nature and join the cult. And then he joins the cult and he thinks that he's going to survive it, because in his nature, and his father was the grand master in his time. And then he goes in and then all of a sudden, he falls in love and realizes, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't, And I think that what I loved about the movie is that we all thought that his wife, his precious Allah, his jewel, his wife was gonna be the one he loved the most, and it turned out his brother was the one he loved the most. That threw me off, and I loved that. So unpredictable. But 5 minutes towards the, whatever, the end was great, but it could have been powerful if there was a real bondage. Literally, half of that movie should have been him in utter turmoil, bondage, and pain. And I mean palpable pain where you're like, man, you deserve to go and you deserve to sell off your whole family self. You have suffered too much. Even God will forgive you. We needed to feel the empathy for him even going into that. We should have been conflicted as an audience. We should have been scared, but understanding at the same time. We should have been like, I would have sacrificed my goddamn mama. You know? You should be questioning your own self and your own morality. That is what was missing. I wanted that so badly. I wanted to feel his turmoil. Didn't get that. I think I'm done with my commentary. I think I'm done. Hold on. Beatrice says, oh, Tammy says, Ramsey? Ha. It was scary. And then Beatrice said, hello, Barry. Yeah, that's my boo. That's my sis. And Tammy says, I think a lot of kids were traumatized from Ola. Okay, yeah. We passed that already. And then Beatrice says, Omar, you should have been the co-host. Hello, Tommy. Hi, hello, Tommy. How are you? Your idea is really good. I love the movie, though, because to me, it was such a good lesson. Yes. And that's the beauty of all classic Nollywood. The lesson has to be powerful. But I promise you, if they did it the way I'm saying it, or they did it in true audio production fashion, trust me, you wouldn't have been thinking the lesson is good. You would have felt, you would have dipped that shit in your soul for years to come, right? Ramsey Noah, bad guy persona was so attractive. That man was so young. He's aging beautifully. I've seen him quite a few times in real life. He's a beautiful man. He is. Paulindo said, who is Ramsey? Gordon Ramsay? No, nothing like Gordon Ramsay. Ramsey Noah is a Nollywood actor, a seasoned Nollywood star, a beloved Nollywood actor for millennials like us. Yeah. Paulinda, Ramsey Noah. Oh, okay. All right. Awesome. So, yeah, in general, my opinion is it was a good movie. I'm not going to say it was bad, especially if you haven't watched the original or if you don't know anything about movie Living in Bondage. It's a good movie. If you know nothing about Living in Bondage and you're not attached to it, it's not a cultural thing for you, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. If you are a millennial who went through audio productions, who enjoyed Nollywood classics growing up, and you watch this, oh, child, you're going to have a lot of whys, a lot of goddamn it, you know. I think they should have kept that same energy that they brought in the beginning. I think they should have. And they did not. And that was disappointing, to be honest. I needed the horror scenes to be horrific. I needed him to live in bondage. I needed him to be so perturbed by life. I needed him to be robbed, to be damn near almost raped, to be damn near almost, you know, I needed him to be so conflicted, you know, to maybe love his adopted mother and hate his adopted father because his adopted father knew that he had an evil streak. But maybe his adopted father was very religious and always tried to cleanse him and take him to one native doctor for the other, and he didn't know why he had to go to all these places as a child. But when he grew, he found out that no, his adopted father didn't really hate him. His adopted father was fighting a blood in him that he saw that he couldn't even talk about. I wanted that kind of deep conflict, but in general, it was a good movie. Hold on, let me see what it's saying. I'm surprised it's not a Taurus. I'm a Taurus, by the way. Yeah, I'm surprised too. I'm Gen Z. You are Gen Z, Beatrice. Aww, you're a youngin. Yeah, I'm not. I'm a total millennial. Total millennial. But yeah. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Let me know what you think. If you have something to say about the movie, let me know. But this was such an amazing conversation from the beginning where we spoke about the George Floyd case, which still, you know, I just didn't want to end on such a very heavy note. So I thought that I also talk about something that is more lighthearted, something that is cultural, that my you know, African, West African, Nigerian audience can relate to, and then also something to that other people who stumble on this live stream can add to. Beatrice says, me too. You too, as in, are you a Taurus too? Because I'm a Taurus, and I kind of recognize Tauruses. And you have Taurus energy. Yeah, bull gang! I knew there was a reason why I liked you. Yeah. All right. Okay. So thank you everyone for being 30th April. Okay, babe. I'm May 14th. I'm a May baby. So thank you everyone for coming to the live. I really appreciate you. The Salt Tribe is growing. You guys are all a part of it. I absolutely welcome opposing opinions. If you're a real Salt member, you know that I have received some crazy comments before. I love people having a good conversation. Even if you don't agree, let me know why and let me know what you think, because trust me, even if it's just your perspective that we're learning, that's good for the damn statistics. So thank you all for your contributions. Someone wrote something, let me see. American system. All right, show. American system is to give comfort to majority white people and racism and poverty to black people. Taxes are given for well-being of white people to calm situation. They make rare black people rich. That's some deep stuff. Can you guys read what Dokan Lamsi spoke about? They hid his comment and I had to make it public, I guess, because he's talking race and he's talking black, and you know it's often censored. So thank you for that, Dokan Slams. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm probably butchering it and I'm very sorry. That was a very good perspective. Taxes are given for the well-being of the well. We know that. You're completely correct. You know, because sometimes they try to say, well, it's an economic thing. It's not a racist thing. It's a class thing and it's economics. And if you were black or any other color and you were this, you know, at the upper strata and you were, you know, at an upper class, then you will not experience certain things. So you better work hard or whatever. And it's just a, you know, it's just a privilege thing when it comes to class and not race. But we all know better. We all know better. I was very under the weather today. I've had a very heavy weekend, to be honest. I feel so lightheaded now. I've given so much of myself to you guys, as I do with all my lives. I literally have to stretch after every live because of all my histrionics. I love you guys so much. I absolutely love the tribe, but let's keep growing. Please share this stream out. It will mean a lot to me. And yeah, drop your comment if you want to. And until next week, I've been your host, Lachichi Mambo, for Pop, Salt, and Culture. Ciao.